This is a basic tutorial to show you how to import, edit, and export your video projects using iMovie 11 on a Mac. So first of all, we're looking at the iMovie interface here, and we need to just look at the different sections and know what they are. So on the top left, you've got the project window, which will display your project timeline. On the right, you've got your preview window, which will show you what the video looks like. And on the bottom, you've got your event library. This is where your imported clips will show up, and you can drag them from here to your project. Okay, so the first thing we need to do is create a new project. So I'm going to go to the File menu on the top and click New Project. Then I'm going to look at the options here. We can create a themed project like a photo album or a sports project, a comic book, and so on. Or we can use some of the preset movie trailer options, which are a lot of fun as well. But just for basics, we're going to choose no theme. We're going to give this a new name, which is my first project. And you can choose widescreen or standard format. I'll select widescreen. Your frame rate should try to match the video footage that you've taken. So usually it'll be 25 frames per second. And then you can tick this box or not if you want to automatically add fades and cross dissolves and so on whenever you have clips added to your project. Leave it unchecked in this case because we're just going to work with basic cutting. And when you're ready to go, click Create. Okay, so we can see the name of our project up here. We have no clips in our timeline yet, so that's what we need to do next, is to actually import some video clips into our event library. So you can go to File, Import Movies, or you can simply drag your video clips into the event library. So I'm going to drag import 4 QuickTime movies into my event library. Before I click import, I just need to look at some of these options here. At the moment it's going to add it to an existing event. That's not what I want usually. When you're starting a new project, you're usually going to start a new event as well. So click Create New Event, give it a name, go with the date, so 10/10/11, my video import. And you can optimize the video at different sizes or keep it at the original size. I'm going to just optimize it at large. It makes the file size a lot smaller without losing any quality. And you can either copy the files or move the original files. I'm going to copy them and click Import. Now it takes a second to actually import these files. So once your video files are imported, you will see them down here in the event library, and just click on them to select them. And they're divided up by, we will see gaps between the clips to separate. So I've imported 1, 2, 3, 4 clips here, all QuickTime movies, which I can then import into my timeline and edit as necessary. So that's exactly what I'm going to do now. I'm going to literally select the first clip and import it into the timeline. To select an entire clip, you've got to hold down the Shift key and then click on it, and you'll get this yellow outline around it. You can scrub through a clip just to see if it's exactly what you're looking for, and I would recommend watching all of your clips before you start editing. But I've already watched these, so I'm just going to drag them into the timeline. And when you drag it in, it brings in the audio track and the video track, which we can see both here. And by pressing space, we can get a preview of what it looks like. How was school today? Okay, and if we want to edit this or make a cut between the sequence, we just go to the point where we want, then go to Clip and choose Split Clip. And just notice that the keyboard shortcut is Shift Apple S or Shift Command S, and that creates a gap exactly where we want it, like that. Okay, let's skip ahead. We'll make another cut where we want it. Shift Apple S, and it cuts the sequence where we want it to be. Okay, one more time. Shift Apple S, and I'm going to delete this one. Okay, and we can zoom in and out here as well. At the moment we're zoomed in as far as possible. That's zoomed out all the way. Somewhere in the middle is usually pretty good. You can get an overview of everything that's going on. I'm going to delete the end bit. I just want to keep these two clips, and I'm going to import my second set of footage. Hold down the shift key to select and drag it in here. And again, I'm just going to cut this down a little bit. About halfway, split the clip, cut that out. And one more time, split. And I'm going to hold down the shift key to select the entire clip and then drag it in between the first two. And now we have created a very simple edited movie, which when we play it back. Jennifer, how was school today? Okay, look at the camera and say it.
What's your name?
Now, what's your age?
I'm 2.
No, say what's your age to the camera. Okay, so we can see our 4 short clips which have been cut down using the trimming tools in iMovie, and we've resequenced them, reordered the sequence to create a new video piece. So you can do this, obviously, add music and sound effects. If we want to add a music track, we've got these icons on the right here. If you just select music, and you can use some of iLife's built-in sound effects, or you can obviously import something from iTunes or GarageBand. For now, I'm just going to import a nice piano ballad and drag it in to my timeline. When you drag an audio file into iMovie, you just need to drag it onto your timeline like this from your folder, and it comes up as a green bar in the background. And from there you can control the volume just by dragging this line down like that. If you click on the settings, audio adjustments, you can control the volume from there. And you've got lots of other options, ducking, equalizer, and so on. Click done when you're ready, and you can hear the audio playing in the background. How was school today? So when you're happy with your finished video, well, just before we do that, you can also import photos, add text. I'll just add a very quick text layer here. On top of my image, my first video. Very easy. You can obviously change the font and so on. You've got transitions here, which if you want to put a fade between two clips, you can just easily drop it in like that and it will fade. If you want it to fade out at the end, you can add a cross dissolve there. If you want it to fade in from the beginning, you can add one at the start. Just like that. Very easy. And of course you can then do voiceovers, you can crop your selection, and you can get information about your video clips. So this is a basic overview. When you're finished your video, you can export it by going to the menus at the top and clicking share, and you can export it as any kind of file type, a QuickTime movie, MP4, and so on, or you can publish it directly to the likes of YouTube, Facebook, Vimeo, and so on without having to leave iMovie at all. You can burn it to iDVD, send it to iTunes. I'm just going to choose export movie from the options just so we can see what it looks like. And we've got mobile, medium, large, HD, different qualities that we can use. I'm going to select large and I'm just going to click export, and iMovie will simply export my video clip for me, and it has exported as an M4V, which is an MP4 Apple style, and we can just open this up, and by default iTunes will open it up for us and we can watch it, the video. Okay, look at the camera and say Say what's your age to the camera. Alright, that's enough. Thank you. And that's a very simple introduction to using iMovie to import, edit, and export your video projects.